Sunday. It is October the 17th. It is a little early. It's about 7:35 a.m. in the morning or so. And before I get into this Sunday episode, I wanted to quickly take a moment. And by the way, this will be the first time I actually mention a side project that I'm working on, but I wanted to mention this because I do believe that it will be probably coming out in the next few weeks or so, just in case you wanted to check it out. I wanted to first say up front initially that this project is not about astral projection. This is a fictional story that I came up with, and it is going to be a podcast. So it'll be a fictional podcast, and you will be able to listen to it if you wish. And I'm just putting it out there. The project's going to be called Naui of the Lightning Tribe, and it'll be sort of a fantasy adventure kind of a thing. And as the weeks go on, I'll probably mention it again, let you know when it's actually out there. But I wanted you to know it's a project that I am actually excited about and something I've been working on for some time. So anyway, let's get to this Sunday's topic. And today I would like to talk about a possible approach to astral projection. Something that I've talked about before. I've given suggestions to people on how they might try to leave their bodies in previous episodes. But, every once in a while, I like to update these things because there's things that I am constantly learning, and I like to put those things out there for you. But of course, as I always say, and I always make sure that I emphasize this, I honestly don't believe that this is a thing where one size fits all. And everyone's going to be unique, and everyone's going to have different challenges when they attempt this. So I want you to keep all of these things in mind, because the one thing that I see that I think is a mistake out there, especially in the subreddit, is it seems that people want to find one thing that is going to be, I guess, kind of that magic bullet, the magic formula. And I don't believe that such a thing exists. We'll come up with, each of us, I think, our own unique approach to this, since honestly, I believe that it's coming from inside of us. So let's talk first about attitude. And I know that in many of these things where people talk about how to approach astral projection, they don't talk about attitude, but I want to talk about it because I think that it is extremely important. So before you lie down to try this, these are a few of the things I'd like you to consider. First, why do you want to do this? Now, it doesn't have to be profound in any way. It doesn't have to be some deep thing like, I don't know, you want to become a yogi or something, and this is why, or you want to, learn some profound truth. It could be simply that you want to have fun. And when I was young and I first did this when I was 9 years old, that was the only thing I was thinking about. I was thinking, wow, it would be really, really cool to be able to fly. It was something that I had always been fascinated with. So it could be simply that you want to fly, or that you want to feel what it's like to walk through walls, anything that you, I guess, can think of in that way. But it's important that you really take the time to think about that. Why do you want to do this? Second, what are your deepest fears? And this is an important one, by the way, guys. Something I think you should take the time to focus on. Before you shut your eyes, go over every fear scenario that you could possibly come up with, from getting kidnapped by entities to not being able to get back into your body. Now, once you come up with these, I want you to say them out loud, because once you can hear them in your own voice, you can then deal with them. By the way, after 40 years of doing this, I have never been kidnapped or unable to get back into my body. I believe that these are simply fears that have manifested themselves because of TV, movies, and social media. But me saying this isn't necessarily going to diminish that fear inside of you. Fear usually fades with time and experience, but keep in mind that it probably won't ever go away completely. And it shouldn't. See, fear is a part of us, and they're to protect us from harm. It's not our enemy. So take the time to get to know your fears and understand them. Let them know that if there's any trouble, you can instantly return back to your body by thinking, I want to be back in my body. Third, you are in control. I've spoken about it before, but I cannot stress this enough. If in your mind you've already given up your control to some entity you're afraid that you might encounter out there, then you'll only make that said entity more powerful. And honestly, the interesting thing about this is that the entity might just be your own creation in the first place. What I've come to know, at least from my own experience, is how powerful we actually are. Take a moment and think about your life so far on this planet. Understand that this is only a sliver of who and what you truly are. There is an expanded part of you that understands everything and that is more powerful than you could ever imagine. Consider all of these things before shutting your eyes. And once you're lying there in the darkness, your job is to quiet your thoughts and simply relax. This is keeping in mind that you have already taken a moment to form your intent of leaving your body, and that at your core, you trust that when it's right, it'll happen. If you have a visual in mind, like imagining yourself climbing out of your body with a rope, the rope technique, or some of the visuals I've come up with, like imagining your third eye glowing with a golden light, or simply imagining yourself surrounded by a bubble of light, like I did the first time I left my body, then I would encourage you to do it. But I believe it's important not to get caught up in the visuals, and more important, to relax and let go. As I've said before, I don't have some kind of magical formula for this, and I don't believe in shortcuts when it comes to this stuff. There are so many folks out there that want to arrive had a destination without bothering with the journey. But after being on my own personal journey with this for 40 plus years, I can tell you that the journey is the most important part. The last thing I wanted to cover is separation, as there seems to be some confusion out there about this. I have heard or seen posts from people saying, they get to the vibrational stage and they're not sure what to do, or they somehow feel stuck. And what I want to tell you, at least in my experience, is once you get to that point, I believe that things should be instinctual. For example, and I've given this example before, the first time I astral projected, once I felt that tingling sensation going through my body, I then felt lighter than air and I felt myself begin to rise out of my body. I have also come to that middle place I like to call the sweet spot and rolled out of my body. And you can accomplish, I guess, leaving your body in these both of these ways, but also I found myself just out of my body suddenly and with no memory of the actual separation. So any of these things can happen, but getting to that stage where you're in the vibrational stage, that point, allow, if you haven't already done this or tried this, allow your instincts to take over, because it should be instinctual and it should be, I believe, effortless. Try not to focus so much on what you think should be the feeling. And this is an important thing as well. Pay attention to your own instincts. What do they tell you? Anyway, that's my approach. Those are some suggestions I have for you. I hope it's helpful. Thank you so much for coming on another journey with me. And until next time, take care.